You know the pain of fresh food going bad too soon, right? You put it in the fridge, you try your best, but still, those greens wilt, those fruits spoil. We all believe a big, humming box is the only answer. But what if a secret from long ago, a simple clay pot, could change all of that? No power needed. Used a way to keep your food fresh for weeks. Imagine the peace this brings. And that peace of mind? It's not just a nice thought. It's totally possible. Because right now, food waste is a massive problem all over the world. In some places, the numbers are just shocking. In parts of Africa, for example, researchers found that nearly half of all fresh fruits and vegetables spoil between the farm and the kitchen. A lot of the time, the reason is simple: there is no fridge. Electricity is either too expensive or just isn't available. It's a huge waste of food, time, and money. But what if the answer wasn't some new high-tech gadget, but something thousands of years old? It's called a pot-in-pot refrigerator, or sometimes SAR. This incredibly simple idea goes all the way back to ancient Egypt, and it works without a single bit of electricity. It just uses clay, sand, and water to create a natural cooling effect. And it really works. These coolers can make the air inside about 10 degrees Celsius cooler than the outside air. Leafy greens that would normally wilt in a day can suddenly last for 4 days or more. For so many families, that's a total game changer. Now, for most of us, the idea of not having a fridge is hard to imagine. It's the silent, humming centerpiece of our kitchen, something we completely take for granted. But what if that reliable box isn't serving us, or the planet, as well as we think? Let's be honest, that appliance is one of the biggest energy hogs in your home. It runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, without a single break. It's a constant, steady drain on your electricity, and that adds up on your bill, month after month, year after year. It's a hidden cost we've just learned to accept. And that cost goes way beyond our wallets. All that energy has to be generated somewhere, contributing to a massive carbon footprint when you multiply it by millions of households. On top of that, many refrigerators rely on chemical. That cold, dry air is terrible for things like tomatoes, which lose all their flavor and get mealy. It makes onions and potatoes sprout, and it turns fresh bread stale in a hurry. It really forces you to ask the question, is this expensive, power-hungry, and sometimes ineffective machine truly the best we can do? Maybe the most elegant solution isn't the one that plugs into the wall. Well, it turns out the best solution doesn't plug in at all. In fact, it's been around for over 4,000 years. It's called a zeopod, and it's a beautifully simple piece of technology. The basic idea goes all the way back to ancient civilizations. We're talking 3000 BC in the Indus Valley and ancient Egypt. There are even old Egyptian paintings that show people fanning large clay jars of water to cool them down. They understood, even back then, that as water evaporates off the surface of a porous clay pot, it pulls heat away with it, cooling but the bears inside. That simply brilliant idea is still used all over the world today. But this ancient tech got a major modern boost in the 1990s, thanks to a Nigerian teacher named Mohammed Baaba. He came from a family of pot makers, and he saw how much food was going to waste in his community because people didn't have refrigerators. So, he created a standardized, easy-to-make version of the pot-in-pot cooler. He hired local people to produce thousands of them and even made little video plays to show everyone how they worked. His work was so impactful that he won a major award, and he used the money to make the pots available for just 40 cents a set. And this isn't just a nice story from the past. Researchers from top schools like MIT have studied these pots in places like Mali. They found that in parts of Africa, about half of all fruits and veggies spoil before anyone can eat them. But a zeopod can drop the temperature inside by as much as 10 degrees Celsius, that's 18 degrees Fahrenheit cooler than the air outside. Leafy greens that would normally wilt in a day can suddenly last for 4 days or more. For a family, that means fewer trips to the market, more money saved, and a lot less wasted food. It's proof that sometimes the most powerful solutions have been with us all along. So how exactly does this ancient trick work? What's the secret to turning 2 clay pots and some wet sand into a working refrigerator? The science behind it is actually pretty simple, and you already know how it works because your own body does it every single day. It's called evaporative cooling. Think about it. When you get hot, you sweat. As that sweat evaporates off your skin, it pulls heat away from your body, and that's what cools you down. A zeopod does the exact same thing, but for your food. It is the breakdown. You have a small clay pot sitting inside a larger one, and the space between them is filled with wet sand. The key is that the outer pot is made of porous clay, which means it has tiny, microscopic holes that water can soak through. So, the water from the sand slowly seeps through the outer pot to the surface. As the air moves around it, that water evaporates. And just like sweat on your skin, as the water turns into vapor, it needs energy to do that. It gets that energy by pulling heat out of the air and, most importantly, out of the inner pot. This process constantly draws warmth away, creating a cool, humid little microclimate inside. It's a perfect, self-regulating system. No plugs, no electricity, just the simple physics of water, glass, and air working together. It's not just making things cold, it's creating the right kind of cold. That humidity is exactly what vegetables love, and it's why they stay crisp and fresh so much longer than they would in the dryer of a modern fridge. It turns the most basic elements into a powerful tool for survival. Alright, so let's get our hands dirty and build one. The best part is how simple this is. You just need a few things. First, 2 unglazed clay pots, the kind that water can soak through. One pot needs to be small enough to fit inside the other, with an inch or 2 of space all around. Then you just need some sand and a cloth or a piece of burlap big enough to cover the top. That's it. And it's incredibly cheap to make. Depending on where you live, you can put one of these together for anywhere from $5 to $40. Now for the assembly. Place the smaller pot inside the larger one. Carefully fill that gap between the 2 pots with your sand. Then, pour water over the sand until it's completely soaked. To get it working, find a shady spot with good airflow, and place your cooler there. Keep the top covered with a damp cloth, and remember to add a little water to the sand once or twice a day to keep it moist. And the payoff is huge. A pot can lower the temperature inside by as much as 10 degrees Celsius. That's the difference between food spoiling and food staying fresh. This isn't just a neat DIY project, it's a life-changing tool. In many parts of the world where electricity is rare, almost half of all fruits and vegetables spoil before they can be eaten. In the 1990s, a Nigerian inventor named Mohammed Baaba helped bring this technology back, getting these pots into the hands of thousands of families. It's proof that sometimes the most powerful solutions don't need to be complicated at all.